Welcome back to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio. It's a very special edition with Emmy Hikins and our guest on the show, all the way from Kowai, the island of Kowai in Hawaii, Moses Hamilton. Welcome back, boss.
All right, good to be back. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. So, how do you explain your art to someone who's never seen it before?
Well, it's really vibrant. I mean, it's being I use my mouth. It's when I first started painting, I realized early on that I wasn't going to have quite the control I did with my hands.
Yeah.
It's got a kind of its own stylistic, almost primitive nature.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by a lot of the impressionists. Yeah, so it's kind of a mildly impressionistic with a folk art feel. And it's there's definitely island art, lots of vibrant colors, a lot of movement. It's very lively. It's really fun art. It's definitely, I'm always saying I'm going for my art shows it's not just a visual representation, but even more than that, I try to catch an emotional feel. The colors of the islands, the reds, the blues of the oceans, the greens of the mountains and everything. It's a very, very colorful place here. Wow.
So what inspires you to do a piece of artwork?
Well, I find inspiration, it's kind of endless, the things you want to paint. Yeah. But right at the moment, I kind of definitely paint a lot of the things of the island, the native people. There's a very diverse ethnic group of people here. The native Hawaiians, there's also lots of Filipinos and Chinese and Caucasians and Japanese. So I like to paint the ethnic diversity of our islands.
Yeah.
I love such a mixing pot of so many people here. It's a wonderful island, and you get to see so many interesting cultures and backgrounds of people. So that's one of my inspiration. And then also just the island itself. I love painting the waterfalls, and I used to surf, so I really love painting waves and the surf, and the island scenes, the mountains here, and the sunsets and stuff. But as I've gone along, I also love music. So music's another one I paint. When I'm not doing the island stuff, I do musicians.
Oh.
Got one of mix, John Lee Hooker, a few different native style ukulele players and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad had a great vinyl collection when I was a young man, and we used to listen to a lot of old rock and roll and old music, and then a lot of reggae, Bob Marley and stuff like that. So I love music.
I've had a guest on the show once, and he sort of described his music like a painting, and I couldn't get that. I just thought, what do you think?
Well, I think it's all a form of expression. Music art is you're kind of letting a little piece of your own soul out through the music or out through onto the canvas. So it is telling a little of your own inner being. It's like telling a story through your art or through your music. So I see a similarity to that. And I say I love painting musicians too, because if you can catch that look in their eyes or in that moment of making their music, that feeling of their release. It's one of the reasons I love to paint musicians, because you can catch their magic, their moment of being released from their situation and just being free with the music. It's one of the reasons musicians.
Oh yeah, well I think I get it now the way you've explained it, because the way he explained it, I thought I didn't get it. So I don't really know much about art, but I love art. So my question is, the art that you do, what style is it? Because the only form of art that I've heard about, and I don't really know what it is about, is called abstract. And and it's just a word in English. It's just a word in the English language to me. So how do you describe your form of art?
Well, I would say it's kind of got an impressionistic feel, and also a folk art feel.
Yeah.
And it's it's my own style. It definitely has its own look. You can recognize my art pretty easily. It's kind of got an almost it's very colorful. My art's definitely island art. It has an island feel. But I think, and I do some abstract too. So I do everything. My art is still developing as I develop my techniques and my style.
Yeah.
So it's going through stages. But I've been definitely influenced by impressionists like Van Gogh and Claude Monet. I love a lot of their art, and I like the movement and art that's not always, it has a, you know, it's not always about being totally visually realistic, but want to portray the light, the colors, the movements, you know, so it's not, my art's not like photographic, it's more colorful, playful, and definitely its own style. I call my art stylized too. I have my own stylized art.
Wow.
Definitely art, you know, I use really bright, bold colors. It's not, I'm not trying to make it, I say exaggeration is a great tool for me because my art is exaggerated. It's not like I'm trying to make it look realistic. I'm trying to make it more than realistic looking at it, making it more almost dreamy and, you know, mystical and whimsical.
Yeah. And how's that different from abstract?
Abstract's, you know, very, it's almost no definite form, you know, no definite, like when you look at an abstract piece, it can just be colors all mixed together and lines, but it's not always portraying a picture, you know, of something in particular. It's more mental, I think. Abstract's more what your mind makes of it, because abstract, you know, it's very different than, like, you know, a lot of other arts. Abstract arts, it's not about painting a person or painting a house or painting a beach. More of a mental thing. And even though you might feel influence of those things, it's definitely abstract art's real different. But fun, because with abstract art, there's not as many kind of, you got kind of a little looser, I think, a little less rule, but it's going to be because you're kind of just going from your internal, your subconscious, and your internal being more. It's different. Abstract's very different. Yeah. But also one way to paint because it breaks away from the kind of the what your mind, your eyes see. It's more what your mind sees, I think.
Wow, brilliant. So we're gonna take another short break now. Please don't go away. You're listening to Broke the Art, a special edition with Emmy Hikins and a lovely guest on the show, Moses Hamilton. He's a painter, an artist, painting artist. We'll be back shortly. Please don't go away.